Have you ever really stopped to think about it? Every photo you've ever taken, every document you've written, all your music, your games, your entire digital life has to live somewhere. It feels kind of like magic, right? But it's not. It's all happening on a real physical device sitting inside your computer. So let's just get right to the big question. When you hit that save button, what is actually going on? Where does that file go? I can tell you it's not just floating around in some digital cloud. Nope, it's being physically written, bit by bit, onto a piece of hardware. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how that works. You know, the best way to wrap your head around this is to think of your computer like your own brain. It's a fantastic analogy. You've got your short-term memory for things you're actively thinking about right now, and then you've got your long-term memory for, well, everything else you need to remember permanently. Your computer does the exact same thing, keeping its active tasks separate from permanent safekeeping. And that idea right there brings us to the most fundamental concept we need to cover, the difference between computer memory and computer storage. They might sound similar, but they are two totally different things with very specific jobs. Let's break it down. First up, we have volatile memory. The key word here is volatile, and it means exactly what it sounds like. It's temporary. This is your computer's short-term memory, what we usually call RAM. It's super fast and holds all the data for the apps and files you have open right now. But here's the catch. It needs power constantly. The second you turn off your computer, poof, everything in it is gone, vanished. And that is precisely why we need non-volatile storage. This is the permanent stuff. This is your computer's long-term memory. When you save that file, you're telling the computer to move it from that temporary, volatile memory over to this permanent, non-volatile storage. It holds on to your information forever, or at least until you delete it, even when the power is off. This is where your digital life is actually saved. Okay, so we've got the two main types of memory down. Now, let's clear up some words that get thrown around all the time, and let's be honest, can be super confusing. We gotta learn to speak the language of storage. Yeah, this one. Disk, drive, volume. You've heard people use them all to mean the same thing, right? I know I've done it. But while they are all closely related, they each mean something very specific. So let's finally get this sorted out. First, let's talk about the disk. This is the actual physical thing, the media where your data is recorded. The easiest way to picture it is like a vinyl record or a DVD. It's the platter that literally holds the information. And here's a fun little piece of trivia for you. We spell it DISK for magnetic storage, but DISC for optical stuff like a CD. Next up is the drive. So if the disk is the record, then the drive is the record player. Simple as that. The drive is all the machinery, the motors, the little arms, the lasers that does the work of reading the data from the disk and writing new data onto it. It's the machine that makes the disk useful. And this is why we all get so confused. With the classic hard disk drive, or HDD, the platters, the disk part, and all the machinery, the drive part, are sealed together inside one single metal box. You can't separate them. And that's exactly why, over the years, hard disk and hard drive have pretty much come to mean the exact same thing. And finally, we have the volume. Now, this one is less of a physical thing and more of a digital filing cabinet. A volume is an area that your computer's operating system creates to help you organize everything. So when you see the C drive on your Windows computer, you're not looking at the physical drive itself. You're looking at a volume. It's the container for all your folders and files. All right, we are speaking the language. So now that we know the lingo, let's talk about the two main types of storage devices you're going to find in pretty much any computer today, the old school classic and the new kid on the block. First, we have the hard disk drive, the HDD. This is the OG, the traditional workhorse of storage that's been around for decades. Just like we talked about, it uses spinning magnetic platters to store your data. It's reliable, it can hold huge amounts of data, and for a very long time, it was the only game in town. And then there's this, the solid-state drive, or SSD. This is the modern replacement. Instead of all those spinning platters and moving parts, an SSD uses flash memory chips. Think of it like a really, really big and fast USB stick. With no moving parts, it is way, way faster. And that's why they are becoming the go-to standard in pretty much all new computers. Okay, that was a lot of tech talk. Hard drives, SSDs, volumes. But why should you care? How does any of this actually affect you when you're just trying to check your email or play a game? Well, let's get practical, because the impact is huge. The kind of storage you have impacts things you feel every single day. I'm talking about how many seconds or minutes it takes for your computer to start up, how quickly a program like Photoshop or even your web browser opens, or that agonizing wait when you're copying a huge file. A slow drive means a slow computer, period. And this image illustrates the point perfectly. For those who remember it, this is from an older version of Windows. The system would actually score your hardware. It would rate your processor, your memory, your graphics, and look right there. Your primary hard disk gets its very own separate score. Now here is the crucial takeaway, that hard disk score isn't just one number among many. In this system, the lowest score determined the computer's overall score. So if your hard drive was the slowest part, and it often was, it would single-handedly drag down the rating for the entire computer. Your storage can literally be the bottleneck for your whole system. So let's bring it all home. Your digital life, all those photos, that important work, your memories, it all physically lives on a storage device. Understanding what that device is and how it works isn't just for tech geeks. It's about understanding a core piece of the technology that you rely on every single day. And that just leaves us with one final big question to chew on. We are creating more data now than ever before in human history. We've already leaped from spinning disks to silent chips. So as our data needs explode from terabytes to petabytes and beyond, what's next? What's the next great leap going to be for storing our digital lives? Something to think about.